When stupidity goes viral with the wholesome twists, unfortunately. What's good? How you day going? Morning, evening, night, whenever you're watching this video. I will say this though, as someone who's performed their share of stupid activities in this world though, I am glad that I was able to get by with a spank on the wrist. So I am also glad that these individuals in this video was able to do some stupid-ish, and the universe look at it like, you know what, I'm gonna let you go, but do that shit again, do it again, and I'm on them heels. So therefore, I'm just gonna enjoy video of people doing some stupid-ish, and I take it everybody survive, right? I don't think this ain't true crime, kind of, but let's go.
I tried to tell you about orangutans. I did say if something like this ever flips a switch, it's gonna be a bad time for everyone. But it took this ginger gorilla getting his lick back on camera for y'all to believe me. But like, all jokes aside, orangutans aren't aggressive, like, at all. And like, thank God whoever designed them for that, because it would be terrifying. But orangutans almost never choose violence, not even with each other. The only time you'll see an orangutan get active is if a male runs into another adult male, and even then it's a bunch of bluffing and displaying and just being loud to prove a point. Hands rarely get thrown. In fact, there are no recorded cases of a wild orangutan killing a human. They're just plus-size pacifists. So one of two things happened here. One, that's an orangutan trying to play. Or he was getting tired of his ish. I saw this clip already. We talked about this clip before. I didn't watch like the whole backstory of it, but I already saw this clip. But I guarantee you too. I wouldn't say guarantee you, but I highly believe it. That was effing with it. I mean, look how close you are to it. Like, all right, yeah, I'm gonna pacifist. So one of two things happened here. One, that's an orangutan trying to play.
Or
two, and I'm willing to bet money this is what actually happened. The man was provoking the orangutan like an idiot and getting in his face, but the person behind the camera didn't hit record until the orangutan decided he had enough. And in situations like this, I'm always gonna look at the guy outside the cage before I look at the animal in it. And also, just personally, I don't love any article of clothing that much. I would have just negotiated my shirt, but you know, that's just me. So update to the whole.
My bad, I'm sorry. Yeah, he'd have put my little skinny ass right through there. Go get some security. Man, I know doggy scared for his life.
So one of two things happened here. One, that's an orangutan trying to play. Or two, and I'm willing to bet money this is what actually happened. The man was provoking the orangutan like an idiot and getting in his face, but the person behind the camera didn't hit record until the orangutan decided he had enough. And in situations like this, I'm always gonna look at the guy outside the cage before I look at the animal in it.
Me
and
too.
Also, just personally, I don't love any article of clothing that much. I would have just negotiated my shirt, but you know, that's just me. So update to the whole orangutan debacle. Turns out I was right. Turns out this man, well, 19-year-old, hopped the enclosure fence and started taunting the big ape, literally for clout. Bro wanted to go viral and the orangutan said, yeah, I can show you the way. Almost cost him an arm and a leg, but man's did numbers on Twitter. Not to mention the orangutan was on recruit difficulty, because I watched that whole video and I counted at least 3 times where he could have gotten his folded. Jokes aside, this pissed me off for a lot of reasons. First of all, if that orangutan would have killed him, not even, if he would have broken his arm, what do you think the headlines would have been? Probably something like, vicious orangutan goes crazy and brutally mauls man. When it really should be, wannabe influencer gets exactly what he asked for as wild animal goes wild animal.
They don't want to hear the truth, casual.
The zoo 100% would have taken out the orang to save the guy. When it really should be, wannabe influencer gets exactly what he asked for as wild animal goes wild animal.
And I still
Not to mention, if it got to that point, the zoo 100% would have taken out the orang to save the guy. Even though orangutans are endangered and dumbasses on the internet are kind of overpopulating. And I just know Harambe was watching from the beyond like, ain't that some bullshit? It takes years for keepers to gain the trust of an animal like that, and this man managed to destroy it all in less than 10 seconds. I'll say one thing though, he chose the right ape to try this with. If he would've—
Yo, look, you can see him walking towards with his hands like you want a hug. Alright, I'm gonna give your ass a hug.
Destroyed all in less than 10 seconds. I'll say one thing though, he chose the right ape to try this with. If he would have tried the gimmicks with a gorilla or worse,
damn gorilla chimp, like a damn porno case with them old 91s you find under your stepdad bed. You used to have to watch that bug and rewind it. You gotta remember the spot you left it off.
Don't worry about keepers to gain the trust of an animal like that, and this man managed to destroy it all in less than 10 seconds. I'll say one thing though, he chose the right ape to try this with. If he would have tried the gimmicks with a gorilla or worse, a chimp, yeah, none of us would have seen that video. Or at least not without a Tor browser, because this would have turned into a snuff film. Now what if I told you someone managed to do something even stupider than this? Warning, this will piss you off. Meet this woman whose name I'm not gonna say because I don't want to get sued. And she didn't just get too close to an enclosure, nah, she decided to walk up in it like she paid rent. So two
Did you give
things.
it a high five?
One, this was in Texas, so Florida you can unclench. And two, those are spider monkeys. This is a spider monkey.
Ooh, shit.
I don't know what kind of game she thinks she's playing, but she could have lost badly.
I don't know why I was picturing Spider-Man, but oh, no way.
This is a spider monkey. I don't know what kind of game she thinks.
The eyes are gray. Like the whole damn thing look like it's already dead.
Those are spider monkeys. This is a spider monkey. I don't know what kind of game she thinks she's playing, but she could have lost badly. One wrong move and they could have her looking like she could unlock Voldemort's phone. And if that weren't enough, which it obviously was, she even decided to feed the monkeys Cheetos. Not even like the original ones. Nah, she went flaming hot. I don't think I need to tell you why that's bad. Then again, someone like her is able to vote, so... Yeah, they tell you not to feed wild animals because the food we eat can make them violently sick, especially if it's flaming hot. The woman was kicked out of the zoo and allegedly charged with criminal trespass.
Look, get your ghetto ass off. I'm sorry. Dog, I ain't never in my life, not even being funny, ain't never in my life seen a dude eat. I ate some before, but I ain't never ever seen a dude eat hot Cheetos. I never witnessed it ever. I ain't being funny. I'm just being 100. I spent like 80% of my school days were spent in Flint, Michigan, dog, a small city. All right, I ain't see much. I'm playing. I saw a lot.
The woman was kicked out of the zoo and allegedly charged with criminal trespass. She also lost her job at a law firm, which at first made me happy, but then made me seriously question just how she got that far. And I think about it, that's probably where she got her lawyers from. You know who this she is. I don't got.
Damn, legit. Let that sink in. My bad. I ain't gonna stop it again. You stupid too much. I don't care. Shut up. And I don't know exactly what her position was at the law firm, but I'm assuming it was a good one.
That far. And I think about it, that's probably where she got her lawyers from. You know who this she is. I don't gotta say her name. And after going viral, she swiftly received the online spanking that comes with it. After all the backlash, she finally released a statement where she was actually apologetic and really seemed to understand the gravity of you know I'm lying, right? Nah, instead this woman who somehow survived 26 trips around the sun still doesn't think she did anything wrong because in her words, nobody got hurt. I'm sure the monkeys wish they could have that one back. But she did learn at least one valuable lesson. To keep her Cheetos to herself. My mom doesn't like when I curse on the internet, so I'm gonna end.
My bad, let me go back. I'm sorry.
I'm sure the monkeys wish they could have that one back. But she did learn at least one valuable lesson. To keep her Cheetos to herself. My mom doesn't like when I curse on the internet, so I'm gonna end it right there. If you've seen this tiger before, you've probably been lied to. This tiger went viral a few years ago for having Down syndrome, which caused obvious facial deformities. People love this pug-faced predator so much that they used him to spread awareness. Except, he never had it, and the truth was actually way worse. See, the thing is, white tigers are rare, like 1 in 10,000 type rare, and most don't survive longer than a year in the wild because if you can't camouflage, you're probably gonna starve. White tigers are also really popular for animal traffickers selling them on the very much illegal exotic pet market. Yeah, screw those guys, by the way. So the easiest way to breed white tigers is to have 2 white tigers hook up so their recessive genes can produce another white tiger. The problem is, well, there's a lot of problems actually, but the biggest one is that because Caucasian carnivores are so rare, the ones they breed are often related, which is how they get more inbred than a family reunion.
So is that why his face look like that? These niggas said he had Down syndrome. I was like, oh damn, poor little tiger.
Problem is, well, there's a lot of problems actually, but the biggest one is that because Caucasian carnivores are so rare, the ones they breed are often related, which is how they get more inbred than a family reunion. Kenny the tiger didn't have Down syndrome. He was a twin-cest baby whose parents were siblings, and most of his actual siblings became past tense the moment they were born. The guy that bred him tried to lie and say he looked like that from smashing his face into a wall a bunch of times as a cub. Yeah, Kenny was rescued and taken to an animal sanctuary in Arkansas, along with his brother who was cross-eyed, because that's exactly the kind of thing that happens when
I'm sorry, I did not know an animal could be. I didn't know an animal could be cross-eyed. I know all doggy meals get away. Oh, that's crazy, dog. I ain't know an animal could be cross-eyed. What the hell? Dude, I can't get shit.
sanctuary in Arkansas, along with his brother who was cross-eyed, because that's exactly the kind of thing that happens when you have an aunt, mom, and an uncle, dad. Damn. The sanctuary took care of Kenny for as long as they could until he eventually passed away at the age of 10 to melanoma. It's a sad story, but it could have been worse. R.I.P. Kenny, you deserved way better than you got.
A lot of people
sent me this, so I just wanted to point out 2 things. So I'm gonna play it back.
I ain't gonna lie, big cats are so beautiful to me, dog. And I ain't trying to clean that shit up, so you'll be trying to cancel me. For real, I always say that. I always say that. Bro, look, my stepdad was cross-eyed, and I loved his ass for like 10 years. So I ain't racist.
Kenny, you deserved way better than you got. A lot of people sent me this, so I just wanted to point out two things. So I'm gonna play it back, try and see if you can notice what it is.
Bring it back to me. It's a dance.
Because it's a jaguar. I know you taught me that.
So that slow blink is actually the universal sign that a cat is relaxed and at ease. We've seen this with bigger cats like lions and tigers, but even pet cats will use this as a gesture of trust. To the point where a lot of animal shelters will decide whether a cat's safe to handle based on whether it slow blinks or not. And it works both ways. You can pretty much slow blink at your pet cat and it's like their version of a smile. And the second thing is, right at the end, the jaguar rolled over on her back. The underbelly is the most vulnerable part of a cat, so them exposing it like that is the ultimate sign of trust. It doesn't always mean they want you to touch them, it's more them trying to tell you that they're comfortable around you.
Oh, I thought it meant they want you to rub their belly. Because I hate when my dog do that. And legit, I think it do me. Well, that's a dog. I'm telling you something different. But yeah, I hate when he do that. Off topic, though. But yeah, because if I don't do it, he keep on coming by me laying down. Like, no, nigga, no.
The underbelly is the most vulnerable part of a cat, so them exposing it like that is the ultimate sign of trust.
My dog is white, by the way. I got it. I put it together. This is the third casual geographic video in a row. I'm noticing the pattern, the common denominator. Is because animals, since he's showing me how so much they're human-like, and I see through bullshit. Now that I'm older, I call out they bullshit same way I call out human bullshit. That's what it is. It ain't me. Let's finish this video, dog.
The underbelly is the most vulnerable part of a cat, so them exposing it like that is the ultimate sign of trust. It doesn't always mean they want you to touch them, it's more them trying to tell you that they're comfortable around you. Okay. I don't know what you did, but keep doing it, because that cat loves you. So King Julian would actually be a queen. And not in like a yassified way, but in real life, ringtail lemur society is female dominated. Lady lemurs assert their dominance by bullying the low-ranking males at every opportunity. And they usually do this by chasing them around, grabbing them, and biting them. But their favorite way to flex on the males is by straight up snatching any food out of their hands. Or in this case, a stick. And they don't even have to be hungry. Sometimes
don't even ask. You knew I was fucking going to Arby's. Yes, I eat Arby's. But no, my bad. Back to the video. Just reach, dog. Ass.
Snatching any food out of their hands. Or in this case, a stick.
Like, what the fuck?
And they don't even have to be hungry. Sometimes they'll go out of their way to do it just for the feminism of it all. Also, lemur smells so bad that they managed to weaponize it.
It's bad, I ain't gonna lie.
The feminism of it all. Also, lemurs smell so bad that they managed to weaponize it. As in, they'll rub their scent glands all over their tails as a way to build their ammo, and then pretty much just throw their body odor around. Also, they're much more homicidal than the movie wants you to believe. There was a study done on 1,000 animals to see which one was more likely to kill their own kind. Meerkats were number one, since about 19% of meerkat deaths were caused by another meerkat. Lemurs were not far behind, with up to 17% of lemur obituaries being co-signed by their own kind. And a lot of it comes from females kidnapping and abandoning babies and males straight up aborting them. Moral of this video, King Julian was a hyper-homicidal, child-endangering, BO-blasting drag queen. So you probably know the story of Harambe, but not enough people know the story of Jambo. So this goes all the way back to 1986. 5-year-old Levin Merritt was excited to go to the zoo with his family. But when he got to the gorilla pen, bro got a little too excited.
Is this the one I was telling you about when the... Oh, please be, because I would hate... When the gorilla saved the baby, though, right? Ooh,
was excited to go to the zoo with his family. But when he got to the gorilla pen, bro got a little too excited. While leaning over to get a better look, he lost his balance and fell 20 feet straight down, breaking his arm, fracturing his skull, and knocking himself out cold. When Levin regained consciousness, he awoke to Jambo, a 400-pound silverback gorilla looming over him. The kid understandably screamed, and that momentarily freaked out Jambo, and witnesses thought this was going to end in the worst way possible. Jambo protectively stood over the child and had been gently stroking his back as he was unconscious. Jambo even kept other gorillas away when they got curious and tried approaching the boy. It became clear to everyone that Jambo was protecting Levin like he was one of his 20 kids. Oh yeah, Jambo was like that. When Levin started crying, Jambo calmly led the other gorillas to a small hut in the other corner of the pen. Which was when paramedics were able to rescue the boy, who ended up making a full recovery. But the funny thing is, this incident might have saved gorillas in general. Cause back then, people were terrified of and even hated gorillas. King Kong didn't help. But after the video of Jambo looking after the fallen boy went viral, and this was back in the 80s, viral was a big deal. The public perception of gorillas did a full 180. Now you're probably wondering what was the difference between this and Harambe, and the answer is actually depressing. With Harambe, people were screaming, throwing objects to distract him, when all they were doing was freaking the big ape out even more. Harambe got agitated, and that's why they ended up doing what they did. Had the people not screamed at him, Harambe wouldn't have gotten so agitated, he'd still be alive, and the pandemic never would have happened. So I actually have a lot of thoughts on the Harambe situation, and you're probably not gonna like them. So if you don't know about Harambe, give the phone back to your mom. TikTok's no place for a 5-year-old. A Spark Notes version. Kid fell into gorilla pen, gorilla goes up to the kid, gorilla starts getting agitated, zoo officials got a rifle and ended him. The gorilla, not the, yeah. And the big question is, should they have murked Harambe, especially when he didn't seem like an immediate threat to the child?
Don't bring that debate back up, boy. I remember because I think when that one was sparked, I was like right fresh a part of the dank meme world. So boy, it was just all over. I couldn't avoid it.
Should they have murked Harambe, especially when he didn't seem like an immediate threat to the child? Here's the thing. They could have tranquilized him, but that easily could have backfired. Think about it. It's already a stressful environment. You got people screaming and throwing things at you, and that's after a child-shaped object just got airdropped into your living room. Getting shot with a tranq would only amp him up even more. I want y'all to watch this video.
Like, nigga, what the fuck? I'm about to beat your ass. Oh, my bad. Lower this bitch. Nigga, lower this bitch. Hurry up. He got it. Put this shit on timeout. Dog, look at that. Stop. That is art. You boy. Oh, dog, you scared. I would have jumped on that. Oh, I gotta keep breathing. This nigga's scared as fuck. Oh, for real though, not being funny. Is this a movie? Because I'm not gonna lie, this is a perfect scenario for a movie. Legit tried to kill him, felt it, turned around, looked at him, made eye contact. Boy, what the hell? Ran at him. Look at this. Or did this really happen?
Animals don't understand what a tranquilizer is. As far as they're concerned, you just tried them. And in the 5 minutes it would have taken to work, Harambe could have raised absolute hell. And if a 400-pound Harambe seriously injured or even deleted the kid, that zoo is done for. Thus technically the kid shouldn't have been able to get into the gorilla enclosure in the first place. It's stupid, but it's like a balcony. You shouldn't have to tell a fully functional human being not to jump off a balcony, but if one does and there are no rails, the owner of that building is still getting slapped with a violation. So if a 3-year-old managed to get into the gorilla pen and then got deleted while there are armed zoo officials present, that zoo is finished. The zoo would get sued to oblivion and all the animals would get relocated and have to find a new place. And as an animal with a human body count, Harambe would almost certainly get turned into a hashtag anyway. It sounds like I'm taking the zoo side here, I'm not. In a situation that messed up, there is no right answer. Someone was gonna lose. It just sucks that the someone had to be the animal whose only crime was literally just being an animal. But yeah, glad I didn't pull the trigger. You're absolutely right, and I was saving this story for last on purpose. This is Binti Jwa.
Well, I never read that. You're absolutely. I believe there was also a female gorilla that also saved a little boy who fell. She even took him to the door so zookeeper could get him.
Absolutely right, and I was saving this story for last on purpose. I heard of this one. This is Binti Jwa. She's a western lowland gorilla, which actually happens to be critically endangered. Also, she's the niece of this gorilla Coco. Didn't know that before. This story goes all the way back to 1996 in a Brookfield Zoo just outside Chicago. A small child was excited to see the gorillas and as a result, fell into the enclosure 25 feet straight down. How so many fetuses end up in gorilla pens is beyond me. The 3-year-old broke his hand, was knocked out, and was bleeding heavily out the side of his face. And while all the other gorillas seemed confused and unsure of what to do, Binti went right up to the fallen boy. To everyone's shock, Binti, who was already a mother at this point, cradled the injured boy in her arms and even seemed like she was looking around for someone to help. Then, with her own 17-month-old hanging on her back, Binti carried him across the enclosure over to a door where zookeepers could get to him and gently laid him down. But here's the part a lot of people don't realize. As a new mother, Binti had learned to hand off her newborn daughter over to zookeepers so they could get her examined by vets. Binti did the same exact thing here, treating this boy she'd never met before like he was one of her own. But there might be another reason why she did this. You see, Binti was actually abandoned by her own mother when she was born and had to be hand-raised by humans. And when Binti became a mom, it was those same people that taught her how to care for her baby by using dolls. This story didn't just go viral, it went mid-90s viral, and it almost single-handedly changed the way a lot of people see gorillas. And in case you were wondering, Binti is still very much alive in the same Brookfield Zoo where she turned 34 in March.
Hey,
As for the baby gorilla,
real quick, I'm gonna make it quick. I ain't gonna lie. Hey, this is hella fire. Before I knew this is a dope story. Remember the last video as well, or maybe 2 ago. I said it a few times anyway. Man, I knew it, dog. Whenever people ask that question, like, yo, what animal? If you had to be an animal, what animal would you have to be? If you had to be an animal, which animal would you pick? I always say a wolf or a silverback gorilla, to be exact. Man, I'm telling you, though, every time I hear stories like this, I'm like, man, they so fire. I'm gonna let it finish because we at the end anyway. I ain't gonna do a lot of talking, but we gonna talk at the end though, because man, I ain't heard of this one.
T is still very much alive in the same Brookfield Zoo where she turned 34 in March. As for the baby gorilla on her back while she saved the little boy, that was her daughter Kula, who's 25 now and has a baby of her own, which makes Binti a grandmother. God bless you, Binti.
Is Binti? Oh damn, he just cut out. Was Binti a silverback though, or just a gorilla? I don't know though. That was a good video though. I ain't gonna lie. My bad about all the laughing. I'm gonna edit most of it out. I ain't gonna lie. Since it had the whole wholesome situation, I was like, yeah, this video gonna be probably boring. But I was like, no, this guy's casual geographic. I know he gonna hook it up, whatever. But yo, either way, go ahead and get up out of here. I ain't gonna talk your ear off. We already did a lot of talking anyway. Go ahead and enjoy your day, morning, evening, night, whenever you're watching this video. Click that like button for me. I appreciate it. Turn that bell on, sub, all that good stuff. Share. Hey, definitely help the channel. We've been definitely growing. I appreciate it. How about that? Enjoy your day.